amazing. So we have Nikoi Ashalley, the first here. Ni wambabanye. Be a fan job. Wankasi few.
Boninye set up, ke boninye toto ni bi, ke ni bi onake nye jegbenye bomodin. Nye wogano. Onukpa ni ko bi shidam. Je TV station se fe na igbe. Ni amesumona me fe gani. Shi amegbe shi. Oji klon. Ko chi obenka ope. Thank you.
You are done.
Yeah, only 4 wow.
Thank you.
Ajigba kameba.
Anaka mimba yo.
Ajigba kameba. Agbaji na ke ajo na ajo na hijole. Keke na agbaji. Ke ni agbo aye. Numo ni agbo aye. Okay, so for the purposes of our audience, we would want to speak a bit of English. We can intersperse it. But what, first of all, is Homowo?
Okay, thank you very much. Basically, Homowo is got to do with a particular tribe, which is Gan. It has its historical background from when the Jews were released from Egypt. There were 10 plagues that God gave against Pharaoh. The 10th one was the last one, where the firstborn child of Pharaoh was killed. And they had to smear blood on the doors to identify the Jews, because the angel of death was coming. And so that became part of the culture. So when they left, they hadn't prepared their meals properly, basically the bread. And when they say leavened bread, it means the one that has some kind of ingredients to make it rise, like yeast, baking powder. But because they were living untimely and unceremoniously, they had to live without that preparation. So the bread became unleavened. And once they went into the free place, they had that to eat, to celebrate. And that is why it's associated with the Gan quickly. It is unleavened. There's no soda, there's no yeast. The day before, you just put it in water, soften it a bit, and the next day is milled for the preparation.
Oh, I see.
I see.
So that is the quickly part.
I see.
So that is where it picked its spiritual.
I see.
We celebrate it.
But why is Homowo celebrated? I know that you would usually tell a story of Israel to Egypt. Najbru will sing about Ethiopia, Sudan, come to Nigeria, go through Togo and come to Accra, where present settlement is. Are you able to trace that for us, what the migration story was?
Exactly. I have been on this various Ghana platforms, and interestingly, I've had a lot of historians. I'll give credence to one, Reverend Jesiankra, who I always argue with, but knowledgeably in history is an authority. The migration took 2 different routes. Let me make a few clarifications. There was no Israel then. But Jacob became Israel. And he had the 12 children that became kingdoms. But there were 2 routes. When you look at Egypt, we have the Nubia part, which comes straight down into Sudan. Then we have another part which, from JC's narration and research, shows that there was a place called Blema or Blim. Which was closer to the Red Sea. And so they came down and then came to Sudan, which is Kush. So with Kush, one group, which is Asere, went to Ethiopia, then moved to Sudan, and then met the rest, which included Ayikushi. So he was Ayi, but because he was met at Kush, added the name to identify him as Ayikushi. So the migration started as a group, moving on, went through the Niger Basin, went through Cameroon, then came to Nigeria. Then that's where there was a little bit of split. Some came southwest, The Nungwa went forward through the hinterland. The Asenes, the Nikoi and Ayikushi group went through Beni to Aneho, Togo, came to the border of Flao, then came into Ghana. So you see the migration along that coast. Coming to Adan, you have Ningo, boom. They keeps moving on. Toma, which is Tema. The Nungwa, basically. Then the Mashie. But a group went to Ayawaso. And settled there. That's why you hear the great Ayawaso. So the real indigenous guys and the Nungwa and La went there. Because Teshi is a combination of La and Nungwa.
I see. I see. Interesting. So then there's also the concept of the 7 quarters of Accra. Are you able to run us through that?
Yes, you've gone a little far.
But
Ayawaso. Then there was a war.
The Katamaso War.
Yes, which broke down the kingdom of Ayawaso. So then the king was Okankwe. Unfortunately, his children killed 2 sons of Nikoi. So because of the relationship, he decided no. That Kwamun had brought a son who they had circumcised. For the Akans, if you want to be a royal, they don't circumcise.
That's right.
So when this thing came up, Nikoi was upset and reported that they had circumcised their son Ode, who has been brought to learn the act and kinship from the Gans.
So the Akwamus had brought a royal to the Gas state to come and understudy and learn how to govern. And they had broken that rule of circumcision. So one of the indigents had told the Akwamus that this is what had happened.
Because Nikoi was the head of the Asere group, and his 2 kids were killed by Okankwe's children, he had sent them, because annually we go back to Aneho by the routes which we came. So Ako when you Beslamo.
The path. You're visiting the path.
So every year we go to visit our relations in Aneho. But these 2 kids sent by Nikoi were killed by Okankwe's children. He got upset. He didn't want to take a direct retaliation. So he reported this unfortunate circumstances of royal to the Akwamus.
What was the consequence?
Well, the consequences led to the destruction of, there was a war. So the Akwamus were supported by Nikoi as against Okankwe.
I find it, I'm trying to connect it, because for the folks at Asere Zorshie, you would have, when you are celebrating, a bit of red and yellow bands. I have seen that around the Akwamus as well. They use a bit of red and yellow, the chimps red and yellow. Is there a connection?
There is.
What is the connection?
Precisely during the time of war, the arrangement, the Nikoi group told Akwamus they would not fight directly. That means they will put powders in their guns, but they will not put bullets. But they will be shooting against the Okankwe group. But the Akwamus should shoot with their bullets, not against the Nikoi, but against the Okankwe group. And the distinction was to use the yellow to tie our guns, to indicate and distinguish us from the Okankwe who was going to put the red.
I see.
So that is why you find
the yellow
and red.
I see.
But there are other twists to more of the yellow and red.
Which is?
When you come down after the war, you see, there is a historical fact that the Okankwe war was fought around Homowo, and they lost lives. Though Homowo is shooting at hunger, that particular thing brought the loss of lives. So we remember the dead the day before the celebration. So we have red to mourn with.
I see.
So early morning on a Friday, Saturday early morning, we wake up at dawn and we cry for the lost ones, even including our recent loved ones. We cry before the morning for the real celebration of Kuti at hunger, which is a celebration of joy after the period of hunger that also killed people. So it has become a blend of two. While we mourn the loss, the next day we celebrate for surviving the famine.
I see.
Okay. Let me
Yes.
just come in and
Why
ask, because earlier when Nee was explaining the reason why we have the kpukpoi and stuff, I wanted to understand a bit about the famine as well, because when you read around, it says that, you know, the rains didn't come, which is why. But others also say that it's because, again, when they were migrating, they migrated onto a fresh land. They didn't know how to till the soil just yet. And so there was some difficulty in really growing the crops that would be enough for them, which is why, you know, they went through the famine period. I want some clarification on that.
Well, there, you know, we came with food because that's a procedure.
Okay.
We stop somewhere, we farm, we store, and then we move on.
Right.
Or else we couldn't have survived the
Right.
journey.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, we ran out of food. And we had come in, and the weather wasn't, the conditions wasn't good.
The best, yeah.
So crops didn't grow well, and that kind of thing. So there was farming
Yeah.
over a period of time. That resulted in the loss of lives. Then at one time, after prayers and everything, we had a bomber harvest, corn, everything. The sea around August gives out a lot of fish.
Right.
Yeah.
So in celebrating the survival, and in relation to our ancestral history of the Passover and using the unleavened corn.
Corn,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that combination got into this.
I see.
Homowo.
Ah.
But initially, it was done with white
Right.
Okay.
and not mixed with the palm.
Exactly. But now it's mixed
Mixed with the palm. You know,
Why
culture
so?
is dynamic.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
changes. We came
As it
to
progresses
mix,
over time.
Exactly. And the Ghana had a lot of others coming in, especially the accounts came in.
Yeah.
And the rain and root and a lot of their culture has been absorbed
Infiltrated.
into the original camp, which has resulted in this palm content. But when you go back to Homowo and that kind of thing, they still celebrate
white.
with the white.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They still celebrate. with the
Right.
white.
That's
But we have
interesting.
been more combined.
Right.
Yeah.
And more with our accounts and everything.
yeah.
We call us Afache. We say Adontihini. We say Jaseche. So, we dance Obonu. If we don't dance, we shake the kolo. And then, you know. But now we have the account combination of Obonu, and you ask for glory, you tie the curses, you throw it away,
Right.
you ask for God's blessing, and that, you know, that kind of thing.
All
So
that.
I see.
it's a whole lot of culture now in the contemporary Ghana state. It's combined with other things.
Okay.
That is what we see. It was eaten with light soup,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, before the pound.
before.
original.
I see.
Oh, so it was the white and then light soup.
light soup.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
With fresh fish.
With fresh fish only, because that's what we got
That's
from
what
the
we
sea.
had from the sea. I see.
So basically, that's it.
Interesting. So how many days is slated for the Homowo festival?
Well, it starts when we start to plant. I wanted to explain that.
Right.
What we call shiba.
Okay.
Madumu. Ke ma. No, ma.
Okay.
So it's in 3 stages.
Yes, I was just reading something just yesterday, and the incorporation of different cultures and the form cultures have evolved and changed the tradition. Madumo basically is a farmer who goes to till his land
Okay.
during the rainy season.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then you go and you plant Obaduma. So the farmer goes to
Oh,
plant.
Badu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he goes to harvest.
Okay.
Okay? But certain things these things are normal ways of life, which have been incorporated, which becomes kusum, the practices and the ways of the people. And now it's become our culture.
Okay.
That they have added the spiritual part of when you're, instead of going to till the land and crop, that kind of thing. Okay, when you're bashing, so they go and clear the place.
Okay.
They
Waya
take
bashi.
madumo, they go and plant.
I
They take
see.
farm,
Harvest.
and then we harvest.
Fine.
Okay.
But now there's more culture.
Yeah.
And I wanted to change the word fetish priestess.
Okay.
Okay.
She's not fetish.
What is she?
Oh.
You know, she's not fetish.
Okay, so what is she
So
then?
she's a traditional priestess.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Traditional.
it's not fetish.
No.
It is not
We
fetish.
don't worship gods. What Jah won, what Chua won, So there's a difference between worshiping God, which
Right.
is yours.
Right.
You cut the blood, the cows. We don't do that.
Okay.
We use the medium to talk to the spiritual realms
Right.
when we are in trouble and they bring us the message. So our Wulome are not fetish.
Oh,
They're
they're traditional.
priests.
Wow,
I
traditional,
They
not
go
fetish.
into the holy room, back to me, back, take the word from God and bring it to us.
Oh, so
Okay.
there's absolutely nothing fetish about it.
No.
No, but when you go to the Ga areas, and I'm from Teshi, so
Yes.
but please don't ask me details because I will be found wanting. But kote mami, akeshi affair it won't.
Good.
So that is why it makes people think that every family worships, a deity
No.
because each home has
Yeah,
a
we-
deity in the center of their home.
Yes, we have a deity. You see, when we pray, okay, what chair? Mawu. So we know God first.
Yeah.
But there's a way to communicate to God traditionally. And it is through these mediums.
Just like Christians do it through Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we don't worship them, we send them.
Okay.
That's why we have the two words.
Oh.
One jamu, when you worship, then when you want to one, it goes to bring the message to us. We are sick, there's a plague, there's famine.
Yeah.
Then we send ancestors, they say, oh, the message to come. You didn't do this last time. You didn't pour libation well. You didn't do so. Do it.
Okay.
And I'll bring you this. The reward is this.
I see.
I see.
Okay. So we don't worship the gods.
God,
You send
we
them
Send them
as
to-
messengers
as
in
messengers.
the
Yes,
medium.
that's the medium
to
through which
take
communicate
info
with
and
God,
bring.
the ultimate.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
We
very,
learned
very
quite a lot
interesting.
today, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Ah.
very
So
interesting.
basically, I was born a Christian, brought up a Christian. When I became a chief, I was a bit hysterical as to, hey, Oyaja won. My wife cried the whole week. And then you start being, then no. When I went in, I delved in, I asked, I learned.
Right.
That where you want to, no where you want jam.
Jamo.
I see.
So coming
So it's
in
one
to
chumu.
the kuche, which you asked.
Right.
After that, I was so
And just to mention that we're
Oh.
also live on 3FM 92.7
Oh, nice.
Community Connect because we're trying to celebrate Homowo in a very special way
Yeah.
and to explain, like you're explaining,
Yeah.
that not everything that's traditional is fetish.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
everything that's
Or
cultural
evil,
is fetish.
yeah.
There are distinctions, but all is to the celebration totality of it.
Yeah.
But the 7 quarters of Accra, let's talk about them.
Good. Now, when Mashie, after the war, came about, there was a settlement around the coast, which presently we call it Mashie. The Nungas went and the La went. So we started the coastal thing.
Okay.
In Mashie, whilst those guys who lived at Ayawaso, and the trade started with the colonial masters, it became a very attractive area.
Okay.
So other people came in like the Fantis, the Kwamus, the Akans, Trepons, the Fantis, Abora. The British came with some Nigerians, which we call the Alata, to build the castle. So anywhere you had a settlement became Akucho.
Okay.
Kucho.
Akucho.
So,
Okay.
you know, if Asere was one,
Okay.
and you were saying, I'm going to Asere, people were now sitting where now Manoa is sitting.
Okay.
You are standing here.
Okay.
We need a definite description
Right.
Okay.
of exactly which part of Asere you are going to.
Okay.
So where they are
Okay.
became the Akuche.
Okay.
So
like
we
you,
are Bola.
okay. So like
Which
you come
is-
to TV3
Yes.
and you're going to the newsroom.
Exactly.
You are going to the studio.
So the departments
Okay.
that you have in TV3
Okay.
is the Akuche,
Akuche.
of Gamashi.
I see. And there are 7 of them.
Yes.
Which are?
Okay.
We have Abola,
Okay.
Okay.
we have Asere,
Okay.
we have Simpe,
Okay.
we have Bese,
Okay.
we have
Lante Jango.
Alata.
Okay.
Eh?
Oh, there's
You know it's
Alata too. Okay.
Alata, right.
Okay.
Alata, yeah.
Right.
I've heard that.
And then Akma again.
Okay.
Akman Jane.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
So these are the quarters of the gang,
I see.
which makes up the 7, including Otublohum.
Okay.
Not forgetting
Okay.
my matrilineal Lily.
I see.
I
I see.
come from Asene,
Okay.
Asene, Nikoi, Asene.
Okay. And yet, just to say that Ni's mother is also a queen.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a queen mother.
Is that Hima
I don't see him.
of Otubrum. She's
Yeah.
called Nadin Swakwano.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second.
So you see the.
Is that how he became?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely.
I
Nothing to do with it.
patrilineally. I'm from the Nikoi.
Okay.
It's
And
my
they are
father's. I'm
patrilineal.
from
Yeah.
Bukom, typically.
Oh, okay.
It's Asere
Yeah.
Zorshie.
I see.
So notice also the Adonting
Yes.
in there
Yeah.
and the Ding Swa
Yeah.
in there.
In there.
Those are not.
Sounds a
I
little
noticed
hard.
that it's Ashanti. It's
No,
a
it's from the mountains.
Akwamu.
Which are the Otubrum formation.
I see.
So you see how unique the gun is. That's the uniqueness. Then you have, when you look at one side, you have the Teko, Tetahiakwa. Those are so typical Akan names. Tieku Ban.
Oh, Teko is a typical Akan name.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Tieku.
Tieku,
Tieku Ban.
Ahinakwa.
That's Taiko.
Teko.
Okay.
You know, it's all part. It's a combination of the names.
There's,
That makes us gun.
there's also that interesting bit. We'll come to the composition of what's in the quickly. But there's also that situation where we see Ghans celebrating like tomorrow, and you are chanting songs, and they are can.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, you see,
Why don't you use your language to chant?
like I told you, after Ayawaso War, we were overwhelmed by the accounts. And they ruled us over a long period of time.
Okay.
It's well over 200 to 300 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That was a long time.
Yes.
300.
Yes.
Wow.
That's it. And even presently, they reign and rule over the typical guns. It's still there. The culture is there. It's not been abandoned.
Yeah.
It's a culmination and understanding of all of us being together.
Yeah.
So that is it. So when you hear those things, is one. Two, during the war, like the gods, I said, we go, they give us the message, and we have adapted our Khan things already. So the main idea of even winning some of the wars, like the Katamanso war, was to sing in our Khan language. So that whilst we were approaching them, they were thinking that they were our own people. So they put their guns down.
But it didn't work.
Strategy of war.
That's where they were one of the strategies to win the war.
Strategy
So
of
then we
war.
attack them before they start looking for their guns and putting bullets in them.
You would have
we've overwhelmed
already.
them.
I see. I
Very
see.
smart.
We'll come to quickly. Let's take a spot of music from Na Amanwa. She is the legendary Na Amanwa. What are your fondest memory of Na Amanwa? While we get ready for
I was just sitting down. It's been a while that I saw her. She's still looking beautiful.
Yes, she is.
And I told her she did a lot of music with my cousin.
Okay.
Which was Newday, Ashite.
Okay.
Yeah, and that my dad, her dad comes after my dad.
Okay.
So we are basically direct cousins.
I see.
And that's how I
Okay.
know her so much.
I see.
And I was a kid then when she was in her prime. She's still beautiful.
Very.
I wish she wasn't married. I would have proposed.
But she's your direct cousin.
Let's hear music from Na Amanwa backed by Dominic Kwachi and Sami as well.
Ìgbọ̀mọ̀jò fẹ́fẹ́ o, èsì mo mi wọ́ bẹ̀. Nìkan ṣe mi wọ́, yé bàjẹ́ mi. Mi bílẹ̀ akẹ́, mẹ́ni sànẹ́. Èkẹ́ mi akẹ́, eye òòyà yìí. Oyo òòyà yìí, mẹ́gbọ́kẹ́ mi yá e. Wọ́n ya mẹ́rìndínlẹ́ yẹ tẹ́ máa ń kábóyá yé. Kaboya nu, kaboya joe. Oh yo yai, nangwa kemiya Wanya meridian yetema, kaboya ye, kaboya nu, kaboya joe. Ashalley. Egbomocho fefe o. Kesumo mi wo be. Mi kashi mi wo. Ye ba che mi. Mi bile ake. Meni sane. Eke mi ake. Eye o yai. Oh yo yai. Negwa ke mi ya One ya married ya yetema. Gabo ya ye. Gabo ya no. Gabo ya joe. Oh yo yai. Negwa ke mi ya One ya married ya yetema. Gabo ya ye. Gabo ya no. Gabo ya joe.
So you're listening to us live on 3FM 92.7. I'm here with Cookie and Bella and Nikoi Ashalley, the first. We're celebrating Homowo in a very, very fine way. We'll take a quick break. When we return from the break, we'll have the real meaning of what Koklo is.
Yeah.
Nia has explained to us. Is it Gary? Is it not Gary? We will get to find out. We'll also get to find out where Na Manuel will be dishing out more music tomorrow. She's performing with Sina Soul, Amanziba, and Efia, all of them put together, plus 233 Jazz Club. We'll tell you more about it when we return from the show.